Let me tell you something powerful. Wishes don't build empires. Wishes don't feed families. Wishes don't change the world. Work does. Every day, millions of people sit behind their screens, scrolling through the highlight reels of others' success, whispering to themselves, "I wish that was me." But wishing is a disease. It's the silent killer of potential. The moment you wish, you subconsciously accept that you are not in control, that someone else holds the key to your destiny. That ends today. You want to change your life? Then stop waiting for a miracle and stop becoming the miracle. Let's get real. Wishes don't build legacies. Work does. Every time you sit there saying, "I wish I had what they have," you're giving away your power. You're handing over the steering wheel of your destiny to luck, to circumstance, to someone else's timeline. But let me wake you up. No one is coming to save you. No one is bringing you your dream on a silver platter. You've got to build it brick by brick, sweat by sweat, moment by moment, because success doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to work. People love to romanticize the idea of success. They love to talk about manifestation, about dreaming big, about writing down goals. And that's fine. Dreaming is the seed. But the seed means nothing if you don't plant it in the soil of effort. You can have the biggest dream in the world, but without the discipline to work, it's just a fantasy dressed up in motivation. You see, the difference between people who wish and people who win is not luck, it's labor. The winners decided to stop talking about what they wanted and started working for it when no one was watching, when it wasn't glamorous, when it was exhausting, when no one clapped for them. Here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Wishing feels good because it's easy. It costs nothing. It demands nothing. But work costs everything. Your time, your comfort, your excuses. That's why most people don't commit. Because when it gets hard, they start wishing again instead of pushing through. But you can't wish your way to greatness. You have to grind your way there. You have to show up even when you don't feel like it. You have to push yourself when no one is pushing you. You have to build momentum with your own hands. So let me ask you, what are you doing while others are wishing? Are you putting in the hours, the effort, the energy, or are you sitting back, scrolling through someone else's success story and convincing yourself it's impossible for you? Let that sting for a moment, because deep down you know you're capable of more. You know you've been wishing for too long. You know there's a fire inside you that's been waiting for permission to burn. This is your permission. This is your moment to stop wishing and start working. Work is not just about physical effort. It's about mental discipline. It's about doing what needs to be done long after the excitement has faded. Anybody can be motivated on Monday, but what about Thursday night when you're tired, when it's raining, when nobody's watching? That's where champions are made. That's where legacies are built, in the invisible hours. Because the truth is, greatness is quiet. It happens in the grind, not the glamour. You think the successful ones got there because they wished harder? No, they worked smarter. They outlasted, outplanned, outperformed. They turned their frustration into fuel. When they failed, they didn't wish it was easier. They worked to become stronger. And that's what separates the extraordinary from the average. The ability to turn pain into purpose, desire into discipline, and dreams into daily habits. Here's your hook. Every second you spend wishing is a second someone else spends working. And one day, that difference will show. It will show in their results, in their bank account, in their confidence, in their impact. And you'll realize that while you were waiting for things to happen, they were making things happen. Don't let that be your story. You have the same 24 hours, the same potential, the same shot. The only difference is what you decide to do with it. You must start treating your dream like it owes you nothing, and you owe it everything, because you do. You owe it effort, you owe it energy, you owe it commitment, you owe it your best self. There's no shortcut, no secret formula, just consistency, discipline, and time. The grind isn't glamorous, but it's the only path that works. You can't skip the process. You can't cheat the hustle. You can't pray your way around the work. Let me tell you this. You don't get paid for what you wish for. You get paid for what you work for. The world rewards effort, not envy. If you truly want to see your life change, then stop asking for motivation and start building momentum. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's not about feeling like it, it's about doing it regardless. Every step you take, every extra hour you give, every sacrifice you make, it's building something. It's carving your legacy in real time. And when you look back a year from now, you'll see the difference. You'll see the gap between the old you, the one who wished, and the new you, the one who worked. That's when it'll hit you. All those nights, all those early mornings, all that effort, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Preparation for the person you were meant to become. So the next time your mind whispers, I wish, silence it with action. Replace it with I will, because wishing is powerless without movement, and dreams mean nothing without discipline. You don't need a miracle, you need a plan. You don't need permission, you need persistence. Stop waiting, start working, and don't stop until your work speaks so loudly that your wishes can finally rest. You keep telling yourself you're waiting for the right time, the right season, the right feeling, the right opportunity. But let me tell you a hard truth. The perfect time is a lie. It doesn't exist, and it never will. Every second you wait for conditions to align perfectly, someone else is out there building, learning, growing, failing, adjusting, and succeeding. You think time is the issue, but time isn't your enemy. Hesitation is. Waiting for perfection is just fear disguised as logic. It's your mind trying to protect you from discomfort, from failure, from uncertainty. But growth doesn't live in comfort. Success doesn't show up when things feel safe. It shows up when you act despite the fear. Let me ask you something. How many times have you said, I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I have more experience. I'll start when I feel ready. But here's the catch. You never feel ready. You never have enough time. You never have enough resources. You never have enough validation from others. The truth is, readiness doesn't come before action. It comes from action. You grow confidence by moving, not waiting. You learn by doing, not planning. Every person who made it big, every entrepreneur, every leader, every visionary, they all started before they were ready. They built the plane while flying it. They took messy action, and that's what separated them from the crowd of wishers still waiting at the gate. You see, the perfect time is a comfort illusion. It's that soft pillow that lets you sleep peacefully while your potential suffocates in silence. It gives you the illusion of progress because you're planning or preparing. But planning without execution is procrastination wearing a suit. You can plan for years and still be in the same spot, while someone with half your talent and double your courage has already changed their life. You don't need everything to be right. You need to start doing something right now. Here's a hook for you. Success doesn't care about your timing. It cares about your consistency. You think you're waiting for the right time, but what you're really doing is losing time. Time you'll never get back. Every day you delay is another day your dream stays dormant. Every excuse you make is another opportunity slipping through your fingers. You keep saying you'll start when things settle, but things never settle. Life doesn't stop for you to get ready. You have to be bold enough to move even when the ground beneath you is shaking. People who win in life don't wait for things to get easier. They get stronger. They don't wait for the storm to pass. They learn to dance in the rain. They don't wait for signs. They create them. The difference between those who dream and those who do isn't timing. It's courage. Courage to start ugly. Courage to fail publicly. Courage to learn fast and keep moving. You don't get to control the outcome, but you do control the effort. You can't choose when opportunities appear, but you can choose to be ready when they do. Let's be honest, you already know what you need to do. You've known for a long time. You've replayed it in your mind over and over again. You've talked about it. You've written about it. You've visualized it, but you haven't moved because deep down, it's not about timing. It's about fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But here's the real secret. The fear never goes away. You just get stronger than it. The moment you act despite the fear, it loses its power over you. Stop thinking you need the stars to align before you start. The stars align because you start. Movement attracts momentum. The minute you take one step, life starts responding. The opportunities begin to reveal themselves. People start noticing. Doors start opening. Not because they weren't there before, but because you finally stopped standing still. The energy of action is magnetic. It pulls possibilities toward you, but you'll never feel that power until you move. You say you're waiting for the perfect time. Let me show you what that really means. It means you're scared to fail, but failure is the tuition you pay for success. Nobody wins without losing first. The greats didn't avoid failure. They built greatness on top of it. They learned, they adjusted, they evolved, and while you're waiting to feel ready, they're collecting experiences that make them unstoppable. You can't perfect what you never start. You can't improve what you never attempt. Here's another hook. The longer you wait, the weaker your dream becomes. Every delay drains your momentum, your belief, your hunger. Start today, even if it's messy, even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't know where it will lead. Because the first step doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be taken. Once you move, the next step reveals itself. But if you never start, you'll spend your life stuck in almost ready, almost started, almost successful, almost fulfilled. Think about that. How many people die with almost written all over their story? Don't let that be you. You don't need the perfect time. You just need to decide. Success is a decision long before it's an achievement. You have to decide that now is your time. You have to decide that you're done waiting. You have to decide that the risk of regret is greater than the risk of failure, because it is. Regret is heavy. Regret follows you. Regret whispers, you could have, you should have, you didn't. And by the time you realize time wasn't the problem, it's gone. So stop waiting for someday. There is no someday. There's only today. And what you do with it. The perfect time is not coming. The perfect moment is not arriving. The only thing that's real is this moment, this breath, this choice. And if you choose to act right now, you'll realize something powerful. It was never about time. It was always about you. Excuses, they sound good. They sound reasonable. They sound like logic, but they are lies dressed in justification. Every excuse you tell yourself is a brick in the wall between you and your potential. And here's the truth. Action will always beat excuses every single time. You can have all the talent, all the vision, all the passion, but if you keep explaining why you can't instead of proving that you can, you'll spend your whole life watching others live the dream you were meant to build. Excuses are comfortable because they protect you from the pain of effort. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you make an excuse, you trade your future for your feelings. People don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they keep convincing themselves that they're not ready. You know that voice in your head, the one that says, it's not the right time, I don't have the resources, I'm not good enough yet. That voice isn't real. That's fear trying to sound intelligent. That's your mind pretending to protect you when it's really just keeping you stuck. Excuses are fear's best disguise. They feel safe. They sound rational, but all they really do is kill your momentum. You can't win if you're always explaining why you're not in the race. You say you don't have enough time. You do. You're just not using it right. You say you don't have enough money. You don't need money to start. You need movement. You say you don't have support. The truth is, no one supports you until you prove you're serious. People don't believe in words, they believe in results. Stop waiting for validation and start creating evidence. Every excuse you make pushes your dream one step further away. Every action you take brings it one step closer. Here's your hook. You can make progress or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. You've got to decide which side of that line you're going to live on. The ones who win in life aren't the ones who have perfect conditions. They're the ones who do it anyway. They show up tired. They show up scared. They show up broke. But they show up because action doesn't wait for circumstances. It creates them. Every time you take action, you send a signal to life. I'm serious. And life responds to seriousness with opportunity. Most people waste their potential defending their limitations. You ask them why they're not successful, and they'll give you a presentation of excuses. It's the economy, it's the system, it's my parents, it's my luck. No, it's your effort. Because here's what winners know. Your excuses will never pay your bills. They won't build your dream. They won't change your life. Action does. Every day you choose to act, even when it's hard, you're building a version of yourself that can't be stopped. But every time you choose to excuse, you're feeding the part of yourself that's afraid of greatness. Excuses are seductive because they make you feel smart. They make you feel like you're doing something by thinking about doing something, but thinking doesn't change your reality. Action does. You can plan for 10 years and still be at the starting line, or you can act today and be miles ahead by next year. The people you admire didn't get there because they found shortcuts. They got there because they stopped negotiating with their excuses. They understood that results don't come to the most talented. They come to the most consistent. Here's another hook. Excuses are the language of failure. Action is the dialect of success. If you want to change your life, change the language you speak. Stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will. Stop saying, I'll try, and start saying, I'm doing it. The difference is commitment. Excuses give you a way out. Action forces you to show up. And once you start showing up, everything begins to shift. Momentum replaces fear. Progress replaces doubt. Confidence replaces hesitation. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. You don't need a perfect plan. You need persistence, because nothing kills excuses faster than action. You can't keep telling yourself a story about why you can't when you're out there proving that you can. Action silences doubt. Action kills fear. Action builds belief. Every time you act, you teach your mind that you're capable, that you're powerful, that you're in control. But the longer you sit in excuses, the weaker that belief becomes. The truth is, everyone has reasons not to start. Everyone has problems, obstacles, and setbacks. But the ones who make it, the ones who rise, are the ones who refuse to use those reasons as permission to stop. They turn their challenges into fuel. They look at their circumstances and say, watch me anyway. That's power. That's ownership. That's what separates talkers from doers. You see, excuses feel good in the moment, but they cost you in the long run. They cost you progress. They cost you time. And they cost you self-respect. When you keep making excuses deep down, you know you're letting yourself down. You know you're capable of more, and that eats at you. You can't lie to your potential. You can mask it with distractions, but it's still there, waiting, burning, demanding that you take action. Here's the hard truth. Life doesn't owe you understanding. The world doesn't pause because you're tired. Success doesn't wait because you're scared. You either act or you watch. You either move or you stay stuck. You either build or you blame. The choice is yours every single day. And the moment you decide that excuses are no longer part of your vocabulary, your life changes. Because when you stop explaining and start executing, results become inevitable. So ask yourself, what's your excuse today? Is it time, money, fear? Whatever it is, someone else had the same problem and made it work anyway. The difference isn't circumstance, it's choice. The people who move mountains aren't special. They're just done talking about moving them. They pick up a shovel and start digging. And that's the mindset you need to adopt right now. Excuses are temporary comfort. Action is permanent power. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how small, weakens the power of your excuses. Every move you make builds momentum, and momentum is unstoppable once it starts rolling. So stop defending your excuses. They don't serve you. They don't build you. They don't move you forward. Action does. Every time, every day, every moment. Consistency. That's the real separator. Not talent, not luck, not even intelligence. It's consistency. The ability to show up every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter what's happening, no matter who's watching. That's the trait that turns ordinary people into extraordinary forces. Everyone can be great for a day. Everyone can be motivated for a week, but very few have the discipline to keep going for years. That's why so many start strong and finish forgotten. Consistency is the real flex, because while most people are chasing excitement, the few who stay consistent are building empires in silence. The world loves to glorify intensity, the big moves, the overnight success stories, the viral moments. But here's the truth that no one wants to talk about. It's not the big moments that change your life. It's the small, boring, repeated ones. It's waking up early when you don't want to. It's doing the work when nobody claps. It's practicing when it's not fun anymore. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not shiny. It's not Instagram worthy. But it's the quiet engine that drives every success story you admire. You can fake passion for a while, but you can't fake persistence. You want to be successful? Then stop chasing motivation and start building consistency. Motivation is an emotion. It fades. Consistency is a habit. It stays. Motivation is about how you feel. Consistency is about who you are. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers work when they feel like it. Doers work until it's done. You can't wait for inspiration to strike. You have to create it through repetition. Every day you show up, you're telling your future, I'm serious, and life rewards that seriousness. Here's a hook. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is built one consistent day at a time. There is no shortcut. You can't skip the process. You can't rush the grind. Consistency compounds. Every action you take stacks on top of the last one. One workout won't transform your body. One book won't change your mind. One post won't grow your brand. But doing it again and again, even when it feels slow, that's where the magic happens. The results don't show up immediately because consistency works in silence before it speaks in public. The problem is most people quit too early. They do the right thing for a short time, don't see instant results, and give up. But the truth is, consistency isn't about intensity. It's about endurance. It's about staying in the game long enough for the results to catch up. You plant the seed today, you water it tomorrow, and you keep nurturing it even when nothing seems to be happening. Because, deep down, something is happening. Growth takes time, and consistency is the bridge between planting and harvesting. The greats understand this. They don't get bored with repetition. They fall in love with it because repetition is where mastery lives. They know that every rep, every call, every post, every pitch, every practice adds up. It's the accumulation of effort that separates them from everyone else. While the world gets distracted, they stay focused. While others start and stop, they just keep moving. That's why one day they look like they came out of nowhere, but they didn't. They were just consistent in the shadows until the spotlight found them. Here's another hook. You don't need to be extreme, you just need to be consistent. Everyone's trying to do too much too fast. They want results overnight. They sprint for a week, then crash for a month. But real success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't burn out when you pace yourself, you build momentum. The goal is not to be perfect, it's to be persistent. Even if you move slow, keep moving, because the tortoise didn't win the race because he was fast. He won because he never stopped walking. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you build self-respect. Every time you quit, you weaken it. The most powerful person in the world is someone who trusts their own word. You can't buy that confidence. You earn it through consistency. When you keep promises to yourself, you start to believe in your own power. And once you believe, there's no limit to what you can do. Don't underestimate small progress. Small progress, repeated daily, becomes unstoppable momentum. The gym sessions that don't feel like much, the extra hour of work, the few pages you read each night, it all adds up. You won't notice the change day by day, but one day you'll wake up and realize everything's different. The people who gave up are still wishing. You're living what they wished for. Let's be honest, consistency is hard, it's boring, it's lonely, it's thankless, but that's why it's powerful, because most people won't do it. They'll quit when it's not exciting. They'll stop when it gets tough. But if you can outlast the boredom, you'll outlast your competition. Winners don't need constant motivation. They have discipline. They don't rely on feelings. They rely on standards. They don't say, I'll do it when I feel ready. They say, I'll do it because I said I would. Every time you want to quit, remind yourself why you started. Remember that consistency doesn't show results immediately, but it builds strength quietly. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to test you, because consistency isn't just about habits. It's about character. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't break under pressure, who doesn't fold when results are slow, who keeps going because quitting is no longer an option. Here's the final hook. Motivation may get you started, but consistency keeps you undefeated. You can't control how talented you are, how much luck you have, or how many opportunities you get. But you can control your effort. You can control how often you show up. You can control your consistency. And when you master that, nothing can stop you. Because the world eventually bends for those who refuse to stop moving. So show up, not for the applause, not for the validation, but for the commitment you made to yourself. Do it when it's hard. Do it when it's dull. Do it when no one's watching. Because one day, all that quiet effort will speak so loudly that you'll never have to explain yourself again. Consistency isn't just a habit. It's your proof that you meant every word you said about who you were going to become. Pain, the one word most people run from, but every great person runs toward. Because pain is not punishment, it's the price of greatness. You can't grow without it. You can't evolve without it. You can't become extraordinary while living comfortably. The truth is, every successful person you admire has bled in silence for the life they now live in public. They've sacrificed, struggled, and suffered through things most people would quit over. That's what makes them great. They learned that the very thing most people avoid, discomfort, is the exact thing that builds strength, resilience, and success. Here's the reality. Pain is the ultimate teacher. It doesn't ask for permission. It forces you to pay attention. It breaks you open, shows you who you are, and reveals what you're truly made of. Anyone can smile when life is easy, but when life hits you, when everything falls apart, when doors close, when people betray you, that's where the real growth happens. Pain introduces you to your power. It strips away your excuses, your ego, and your comfort, leaving behind only your truth. And that truth, that's where transformation begins. Here's a hook for you. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. The things that hurt you are the things that shape you. Every obstacle, every failure, every disappointment is not a stop sign. It's a lesson in disguise. The people who rise to greatness aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who kept going when it was hard. They didn't ask for a lighter load. They built stronger shoulders. They didn't wish for things to be easier. They became tougher. Pain was their personal trainer, and every rep of struggle made them unstoppable. We live in a world obsessed with comfort. Everyone wants the results, but not the process. They want the trophy, but not the training. They want success without sacrifice. But that's not how life works. You can't cheat the grind. You can't bypass the struggle. Pain is part of the deal. It's the toll you pay on the road to greatness. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you grow. Because once you stop fearing pain and start embracing it, you unlock a level of strength that comfort could never give you. The most powerful people in the world didn't just endure pain, they used it. They took their heartbreaks, their failures, their losses, and turned them into fuel. Every no became motivation. Every setback became strategy. Every wound became wisdom. That's the difference between those who break and those who build. Pain can destroy you or define you. The choice is always yours. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. The pain you feel today is the power you'll carry tomorrow. Here's another hook. The struggle you're avoiding is the strength you're missing. You say you want success, but are you willing to pay the price for it? Are you willing to wake up early when you'd rather sleep? Are you willing to fail publicly, to be judged, to be doubted, and still keep showing up? Because that's what pain looks like in real life. It's not always physical. Sometimes it's emotional, mental, spiritual. It's the pain of discipline, of sacrifice, of delayed gratification. But that pain builds something inside you that comfort never can: character. Let's be real. Pain hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's ugly, but it's also necessary. Think about a diamond, and it's just a piece of carbon until it's put under pressure. Think about a muscle. It only grows after it's been torn. Think about a butterfly. It can only fly after fighting its way out of the cocoon. Every form of greatness in nature is born through struggle. Why would it be any different for you? You want a breakthrough? Then be willing to break through something. Pain is the process of becoming. It's not there to stop you. It's there to shape you. Most people quit at the first sign of pain because they mistake it for failure. But pain is not the end. It's a signal. It's telling you that you're stretching, that you're growing, that you're moving into new territory. Growth is supposed to hurt. Change is supposed to feel uncomfortable. That's how you know it's working. The ones who win are not the ones who never feel pain. They're the ones who feel it and keep moving anyway. They've learned that suffering is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Here's your next hook. Comfort is the killer of greatness. Pain is the birthplace of it. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you choose to stay the same. Every time you step into discomfort, you take one step closer to the person you are meant to become. You can't evolve while avoiding struggle. You can't find your strength while hiding from difficulty. You can't become fearless until you face something that scared you. The moment you stop running from pain and start running through it, you'll realize it was never there to destroy you. It was there to prepare you. So many people pray for success but reject the process that builds it. They ask for strength but avoid the struggle that creates it. They ask for growth but resist the pain that triggers it. You can't skip that stage. Pain is the sculptor of greatness. It molds your mindset, sharpens your focus, and humbles your ego. Every hardship you endure is preparing you for the next level of your journey. Every wound teaches resilience. Every loss teaches gratitude. And every challenge teaches perseverance. Pain teaches you empathy. It teaches you patience. It teaches you endurance. And above all, it teaches you that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. When you push past the pain, when you refuse to quit, you start to see the version of yourself that comfort has been hiding from you. That version is stronger, wiser, sharper, unstoppable. Here's the final hook. Pain is not your enemy. It's your initiation. It's the fire that burns away your weakness. It's the storm that tests your foundation. It's the weight that builds your strength. You don't have to love the pain, but you must respect it, because it's the proof that you're growing. Every time life hurts, it's not breaking you, it's building you. You just have to endure long enough to see what that pain was preparing you for. So when it gets hard, when it hurts, when you feel like giving up, remember this: pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. Keep going, keep pushing, because the pain you feel today is shaping the greatness you'll live tomorrow. Stop waiting for someone to show up and change your life. No one's coming. No mentor, no miracle, no magic moment. The truth is simple and brutal. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. The power you've been searching for in other people has been sitting inside you all along, waiting for you to wake up and use it. Too many people waste their lives waiting for approval, waiting for timing, waiting for luck. And in that waiting, they kill their own potential. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the proof that possibility still exists. Here's a hook for you. Every second you wait for permission, someone else is building your dream. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who work. You want success? Create it. You want change? Start it. You want opportunity? Build it. The moment you decide that you are responsible for your life, everything shifts. That's the turning point. That's when the excuses die and execution begins. Because wishing doesn't move mountains. Discipline does. Waiting doesn't open doors. Persistence does. Hoping doesn't build dreams. Work does. You have to understand something powerful. Nobody owes you anything. Not your boss, not your parents, not the system, not life. The world doesn't hand out success. It gives opportunities disguised as challenges. And when you start seeing obstacles as assignments instead of punishments, you start to grow. You stop blaming and start building. You stop expecting and start executing. You stop wishing and start working. The moment you take ownership of everything, your success, your failure, your pain, your growth, that's when you become unstoppable. Because power lives in responsibility. The more responsibility you take, the more control you gain. Here's another hook. You can't control the storm, but you can control the sail. Life will throw chaos your way, unfairness, rejection, heartbreak, failure, but you decide what to do with it. You decide whether it breaks you or builds you. The people who create impact don't wait for ideal conditions. They use what they have where they are with whatever they've got. They act while everyone else hesitates. They start when they're scared. They move when they're uncertain. And that's why they win. The world belongs to those who take action, not those who make excuses. You keep waiting for a sign that it's time to start your business, to chase your dream, to change your life. But here's the truth. It's already time. The moment you had the vision, the dream, the fire, that was your signal. Every minute you delay, fear grows stronger. Every excuse you repeat, belief grows weaker. Life doesn't wait for readiness. It responds to courage. The people who make it aren't the ones who have everything figured out. They're the ones who take the first step while everyone else is still overthinking. Here's the next hook. If you don't bet on yourself, no one else will. People follow confidence, not potential. They invest in movement, not hesitation. If you're not willing to back yourself with full conviction, why should anyone else? The universe moves in the direction of action. When you move, doors open. When you hesitate, doors close. Energy follows effort. Momentum follows motion. You don't need everything to be perfect before you start. You just need to start. The rest, you'll figure out along the way. Every master was once a beginner who decided to move anyway. You must become your own rescue plan. Stop waiting for circumstances to align, because they never will. The economy won't be perfect. The timing won't be ideal. The people around you won't always understand. But none of that matters if your will is strong enough. Every problem is just a puzzle waiting to be solved by your persistence. Every delay is a test asking how badly you want it. The question isn't whether life will get easier. The question is whether you'll get stronger. And strength doesn't come from ease, it comes from action. Here's a powerful hook. You are not stuck. You're just scared to move. You've convinced yourself that you're trapped, but the door has been open the entire time. The key is your decision. The lock is your doubt. Once you turn that key, once you decide to move, to act, to fight for your dream, everything changes. The moment you realize you're the author of your story, you stop waiting for someone else to write your next chapter. You stop settling for maybe one day and start living day one. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers wait, doers work. When you finally take ownership, you stop being the victim and become the victor. You stop complaining about how things are and start creating how things should be. You stop watching other people succeed and start becoming the person others watch. That's the transformation. The shift from I wish to I will, from I hope to I'm doing it. That's where your power lives. Every action you take, no matter how small, sends a message to the universe that you're serious. And when you're serious, life starts moving in your favor. Here's another hook. Faith is not waiting, it's walking. Real faith means moving even when you can't see the full path. It means trusting that if you step forward, the next step will appear. It's not about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about becoming the right person for the opportunity. When you focus on growth, discipline, and consistency, the opportunities find you. You become magnetic to success because you're already in motion. Life rewards momentum, not hesitation. So stop saying someday. Stop saying when the time is right. The time is now. The chance is here. The miracle is you. Everything you need to start is already inside you, like courage, creativity, strength, resilience. You don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. You don't need permission. You need conviction. The most successful people didn't wait to be chosen. They chose themselves. And that's what you must do. Choose yourself over and over every day. Here's the final hook. You are the spark you've been praying for. You are the storm, the solution, the story in motion. Stop underestimating what happens when you finally believe in your own ability to change everything. Because the moment you decide that your life is your responsibility, that's when you reclaim your power. That's when you stop wishing for miracles and start becoming one. The world doesn't need another dreamer. It needs a doer. So be the miracle, build the dream, and show the world what happens when belief turns into bold, relentless action.